So here were the general changes. A lot of this was just going down like the basic mindsets though. Buff the weaker characters, don't just focus on that. Don't really touch the top tiers unless there was something that absolutely like needed it or was something that was genuinely agreed upon that was kind of hurtful to the game's meta. Not to spoil anything down the line though, but some changes were not necessarily needed, but they were more or less just kind of like, okay, this just kind of makes the game a bit more fun if this option wasn't as good. So here we have essentially most of the changes over here. Every character can practically jab lock. Technically, every jab in the game, or most of them could jab lock, but like not all of them could hit every character. For example, I don't think Mac could jab lock Wii Fit due to how her hurt box was, but
Probably no. No. Do you think Genjab could jab lock though?
It definitely... it had the same angle as a jab lock, but it was too strong too, so... Unless you were fighting a shield Shulk and you managed to hit him, maybe.
Maybe. You could try.
You could, but I don't know. So every move can practically jab lock. Every character had a wall jump. Honestly, I ended up putting that down like last week. I'm kind of sad every character doesn't have a wall jump since it's kind of a really cool movement tech. But, oh well.
That's true.
All ledge get up attacks now have extra shield damage. That one ledge attacks were always just kind of a niche option in every Smash game, even in Ultimate when they had better invincibility, so I mean,
well, they're as good as they have ever been, but like, yeah, why use that between like all the other options that you have, right?
Yeah, like it's not worthless though, but it always felt very underwhelming. I always kind of wish they did a little bit more damage too, but eh. But I think the most interesting one on here though was moves with randomized trip rates are now streamlined to always trip at low to low mid percents. That one I just got from a video because I think it was the Mock Rock video, the worst mechanics video, where later on he says that, yes, I understand tripping is no longer randomized by walking or running, but it's still randomized among moves, and it just, yeah, it's not really super fun. Honestly, it's just always a big gamble, and, you know, RNG, competitive game, they don't really go hand in hand.
No, all of you have missed too many focus blasts to know that.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yep. But anyway, let's go on to the characters. I'm gonna go by these pretty quickly, though, so we're not here all day. But here we have Mario. Honest to God, Mario could probably not get any more changes and he would have been perfectly fine. A lot of these were just small quality of life ones, like the up tilt, having a better hitbox. But out of these, most of these he didn't really need, but they were just kind of like, he has them just so he feels a little better.
Yeah, he feels a bit more easier at lower percents to combo, with, especially with the up tilt. Like, aside from that, like, he didn't need anything at all.
Yeah. He was meant to be the combo heavy character who sometimes has difficulty killing, and that didn't even happen because of all those up airs, and that forward air, and that up smash. Oh,
that
Mario.
Up smash, yeah.
Anyway, next is DK. DK, honestly, DK's kind of a weird case though, because he's pretty okay for the most part. He kind of pulls the element of being a mobile heavy pretty well. But then there's always those just little things that end up screwing him at the end of the day. Like, the moves that were negative on hit, his air acceleration was pretty bad despite being very fast. He had that tie hurt box, and, oh god, then there was that recovery, which you gotta love it.
Yeah, the recovery, man. It's always what has, like, been the last nail in the coffin for him, like, usually.
But yeah.
Though I think in this game he has a better recovery than... I'm not sure actually. Is it better than Smash 4 or not?
I
couldn't even tell.
I think Smash 4 was better because it lasted longer. But to be fair, DK did get better airspeed in this game, so it kind of evened out.
True, yeah. I think the most significant thing that he lost in the transition was like his invincibility on up B startup, which he could use as a combo breaker from time to time in Smash 4, but not anymore in Ultimate.
Yeah, what also didn't help though, that like combos got a lot better since moves got a lot less landing lag and jump squats were shorter, so even if he did have it, he probably still would have been comboed a lot more, so
That is true again as well, yeah.
Yeah.
At least he now got like really feasible gimping throws of his cargo throw off stage, so
Yeah.
that's something.
That is something, yeah. On the dock, though, I ended up changing that so cargo down throw was a little worse at that, because he kind of can already kill you off the side with cargo forward throw, so nah. It was probably just like a little bit of a compensation for all the other buffs he was getting, which, okay, whatever, you could do worse.
Yeah, there are quite a few change stats. There are for Donkey Kong on this dock here.
Yeah, not gonna be going for every single one, but oh well. As for Link for the most part, throughout the whole game's lifespan, he's been unanimously agreed as a solid high tier, so he didn't really need too much in the grand scheme of things. Although a lot of these changes, though, I think were kind of put in place just because it was to help compensate for all the other buffs that lowered or mid tiers were getting. You can kind of see what I mean, though. Like, so many other characters were getting so much better, and you didn't want to leave like Link in the dust, though. So some of these were just to help him keep up pace.
Yeah, I mean he always has Nair, and like Nair will beat like a good portion of the cast itself if used properly. So
his Nair is
he
better
didn't need
than
much
some.
to.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He didn't need much to that Nair to add. Like he can do stuff with it alone.
Yeah, it was in a weird way. It was almost on par with like Ike or Palutena's, though. Like that Nair almost felt like it beat out entire aerial kits, though, just for like how insanely good it was, or is at least. But oh well.
Yeah, I mean it's fast startup, good damage, lingering, fairly safe on shield. Well, very safe, absolutely safe on shield, more or less. What else do you need from a Nair?
Does it do your taxes?
I can try.
You could try.
But probably not.
You might get halfway, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Oh well. But anyway, Link got a few quality of life changes, but nothing super huge. Next is Samus. Samus honestly is kind of in that same rank though, where like after she got all her buffs and the patches, most people unanimously agreed she was pretty good. This does bring up to the one point I want to make, and that's up throw. This might be my own bias coming in though, but like I hated the up throw change. I hated they made that a better kill throw. They like before, like it made sense to give her kill throws considering her grab frame data was pretty bad, but they unanimously streamlined it and made tether grabs a lot faster.
Really strong, yeah.
And then they made her really good at racking up damage. And then
yes.
And then they gave her a better kill throw for up throw, which didn't rely on positioning. And I hate it. Oh my god. I think it's fine for forward and back throw to kill because those are more positional based, but not up throw. That's where I kind of drew the line at. But oh well.
Yeah.
Next was Dark Samus. Of course, everyone wanted to see Dark Samus be decloned, especially through the patches, but they never did that. So I'm not gonna lie, I never really had an idea for how to declone Dark Samus. So if you had anything, go ahead and spill it.
I mean, the only thing I would have was like how the Smash 64, I think it's also called Remix, mod did it. But aside from that, not that much. I think they have like, she has like a Mewtwo-like Nair, but nothing much aside from that.
Yeah. Like even like in like a Dr. Mario case where like she has similar animations but at the very least like has different attributes. They didn't even do that for this game, so that was eh.
Yeah, that would have been cool if they did something like that, but unless they chose not to.
Oh well. My excuse is they had like 70 plus characters to develop. They probably wanted to take a few shortcuts with some.
True, I can respect it like for the most part because, you know, there's 70 plus characters. You find something to play, even if it isn't the Dark Samus of your dreams.
Yeah, but oh well. The internet will still complain about it, but we're on the internet. We know that whole spiel.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up is Yoshi. Again, kind of in a similar position to the last two. He was unanimously agreed to be high tier, but like there was always like that one small thing that was keeping him from being top tier. And honestly, I don't even really know what it is. I guess maybe it's just because he's not that great against swords, but I don't know, honestly.
Well, to be fair, this game has a lot of high tiers, I feel like. But I'm also one of the guys that puts everyone into high tier if I make a list.
Oh, I'm the same.
We would... but Yoshi, I don't even know what he needs. I mean, against Swordies, I think faster Swordies, like, he really has trouble with, but aside from that, against the slow ones, he at least has, like, his egg throw, which is, like, not the best projectile, but still a very decent option. He doesn't lack much, but there's, like, the little sauce, there's something missing somewhere, but who knows where.
Yeah, and that's kind of unanimous upon like every Smash game. In Smash 64, he's barely really good. In Melee, he's barely like a viable character or like a high tier. And in Smash 4, that was the same case. And in this game, it's like, and even like the fan-made games, like Smash Flash 2, he was barely like not even considered very good. It's like, what is up with Yoshi? He's always like just barely not great enough in these games. Like, is there something wrong, man?
Yeah, I mean, good frame data and like good frame data, damage, and like a solid weight tier. That's what he always had. But I don't know, with like something is missing, but I couldn't put my finger on it if I had to. Like,
maybe he needs a better egg roll. I don't know.
That's probably somewhere you could start at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one move that he like really doesn't use at all.
Yeah.
Or shouldn't use, let's put it that way.
And that's funny though, considering that Ultimate like did away like or really polished up a lot of the weak moves like Jigglypuff's Sing or DK's down B, but not Yoshi's egg roll. That move is just meh.
Yeah, it's meh, and I feel it will always be meh at best.
Yeah. Well, at least Crusade got it right though. They gave it a lot of speed, but that's a fan-made Smash game, so. Oh well. Well, then again, so is Smash Flash 2 though, so Anyway.
Yeah, and like our remix here is also like a fan-made mod, so or would be if we finished it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But oh well, poor Yoshi, or maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, next up is Kirby. Kirby's got kind of in a similar case with DK though, where like he's not as bad as he used to be in some games though, but he's still just kind of underwhelming. Oh lord, I still get flashbacks from the Smash 4 remix mod though, where we gave him an auto cancel forward air, like short hop auto cancel forward air, and it could literally just drag characters to the edge of the stage.
Oh man, that sounds terrible. Luckily I never got to play versus a Kirby in that mod, but that sounds disgusting.
It was pretty disgusting, yeah. I guess it didn't help though that it was against an Ike either though, so it's kind of rubbed salt on the wound.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get hit by a Kirby Ferris Ike, you did something wrong in the first place.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, Kirby, I think he kind of lacks like some safe pressure or some way to deal with people just zoning him out would probably be the best thing for him. But if you give him the mobility or moves to easily deal with that, then he probably snowballs into a real good character pretty fast.
Oh yeah, I very much agree. It's kind of a similar case to another character. We'll get to her eventually, but that's kind of another case. But anyway, next up is you have anything else for Kirby?
No.
Nope. All right. We got almost 80 plus characters to go through though. So
yeah.
Let's just go through. Fox is kind of in a similar scenario with Mario. He doesn't really need many improvements, but like you could put them there. You just don't want to leave him behind.
Yeah, Fox is kind of in a weird state. Like on paper, he is really scary. He has those frame traps. Like you get hit by one thing and then you can try what you want. Fox can hit you with another stuck thing, like be dash attack up tilt or up tilt into up airs, auto cancel into another up tilt. But somehow he is not on anyone's radar at the moment, I think.
Yeah, like, I think people still say he's top tier, or at least on the lower end, though, but, like, not too many people, like, do crazy with him. But then again, this game has a billion characters, though, so maybe that's why.
That is true, too, and I don't think we have seen, like, the top player Fox just yet.
That way. The closest we have is Light, though. He's really good with the character, though, but...
Alright, true, I forgot. Yeah, true. Yeah... I guess I have to take back that statement with the top player.
Oh, well. Well, don't worry about it. I'm sure if this video gets any traction, though, people will nitpick whatever they can find in it, though. I'm pretty confident in that, so don't worry about it.
That's true, and I'm prepared to defend any of my statements or change it if they give good points, so...
Yeah. Oh, well. Next up is Pikachu. Literally the only thing on this dock was just a buff. And Pikachu was, like, often argued as the best character, so... Nah.
I mean, it's basically the fix we had in the very first part of channel changes, right? That down tilt should trip at low percents always and not that much at higher percents, right?
Yeah, I don't know like what the knockback configuration would be, though, considering all down tilts have different knockback, but it generally, like, around, like, 45 or 41% is when they would stop tripping.
Which seems fair, to be honest. You get a few early percent bread and butters, and then you at least still get a tech chase, right? So, not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad. But if anything else, I think this one change on Pikachu should just really, like, establish that we did not really want to nerf characters and take away, like, any of that, like, that spice or joy that some people had with them. Oh my god, I just ate recently. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really big part. Like, nerf as little as possible, because, like, people always react a little bit different if you take options from them than just giving options to other, like, characters. Like,
yes,
it's like people, like, prefer having less good characters getting buffed than everything getting nerfed.
It especially just helps with, like, not alienating players or anyway, so that was definitely a considerable factor. But Pikachu is busted, and I'm okay with that. And now next we have Luigi. This was kind of an interesting case, though, because I don't really think we talked much about Luigi, but this is one of the few times I tried, like, redesigning him, because he has better airspeed and generally has a better recovery, but this kind of came at the cost of some of his combo ability. Like, he still has good combos, though, but a lot of his combo moves got more knockback, so they're overall better for killing, but worse for comboing. So I think the main point of this was just to get rid of his 0 to death, because, well, let's be honest, though, even if his 0 to death is technically escapable, not many people really liked it as a design choice, so yeah, rip,
yeah,
bye.
It's kind of questionable, yeah. And even, like, those strong combos at the low percents, like, it just doesn't feel good getting hit by those. It doesn't feel like... Sometimes it just feels like, oh, I got grabbed, oh, I lost my stock, okay, next stock then.
Yeah, like, even if he never did, like, successfully pull off the 0 to death, you still took an insane amount of damage, so it was like, well, this is not much better, but okay.
Yeah, that's true, and you still are in a kill confirm window from down throw, so he basically always wanted a down throw, no matter the percents, right?
Yeah, and I think, like, I don't know, we could have gone a little further with this, like, making Luigi focus more on his other throws. I don't know, like, I guess I'm okay with, like, the confirms, with, like the Cyclone confirms, back air, or even up B confirms, but I just hated the 0 to death, though, because, okay, come on, dude, I was at 0, come on, he didn't get any percent on me.
It's your own fault for letting him go to Final Destination and not platform camping him properly.
Yeah. It's literally like that tweet I saw. I forgot which player it was, but they were fighting against Elegant recently, and they were playing Steve, and literally the first thing they did was throw out a TNT crate, down smash it, took 24%, and then they started fighting. just to push themselves out of the window. That was just amazing.
That's a fair point, actually. Then again, why should Luigi ever catch up to Steve?
But oh well. Anyway, that was Luigi. Next up is Ness. Ness was a character that, like, despite how much people complain about him online, they were mostly satisfied with his balance. He wasn't too good, but he definitely had enough to keep up with most of the characters.
Yeah, he's probably just hated for, like, rising fair on Wi-Fi or just unreactable at give fire stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably what people most hated about him.
It also doesn't help that the Switch kind of had native, like, input lag. I don't remember how much it was, but I think it was, like, around 5 to 7 frames, which doesn't sound huge, but it does definitely add up with the Switch's naturally really crappy online. So, yeah, and it also just made, like, a lot of Ness's... Like, Ness was definitely, like, a case where, like, definitely took advantage of that way more than other characters did, so... I guess if we... I guess if when we eventually inevitably get to Yuzu or whatever emulator becoming the definitive way of playing Ultimate and it gets rid of that input lag, we won't have to worry about it very much, but oh well.
Then again, never underestimate dedicated player base.
That is true, yeah. Honestly, unless like the next Smash game comes out and it's basically just Ultimate but bigger, I think the Smash game is going to live for a long time, no matter how much people complain about the online or whatever buffer or whatever character balance they hate about it. Like, this game is going to last for a while.
I hope so, I hope so.
It is, yeah. But oh well. Anyway, Ness is meh. Oh well. Next up is Captain Falcon. Honestly, Falcon probably doesn't need many of the changes I've listed on this doc, considering that they just kept buffing him in the patches and he just got really, really good.
Yeah, he's one of the few characters that actually feels like he touches you once and you just die. Especially if you don't have a character with like a decent disadvantage at least.
Yeah, like the only thing like they really could have done to improve him was just fix the dash issue, which granted a lot of people hated that. But even then, if it felt like they did, it would have just made Falcon very oppressive, and I think people would have just hated him anyway, because they would have just been getting mowed down by like whatever IDJ up air combos he had. But oh well.
Yeah. You get hit by one, you get hit by all.
But that's just how the cookie crumbles with Falcon.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up is Jigglypuff. So on the topic of snowballing, this was the character I wanted to talk about because I had a discussion with my friend a couple weeks ago, and we were basically talking about Puff's design, and he basically stated that, you know why Puff has very limited combos? Because if she had any more frame advantage or any more opportunities for it, she would be able to combo into rest, and then we're just back to melee.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you can link it into your frame 7, I don't know how fast her fair is, but like the frame 7 fair, you can surely link it into the frame 2 rest. So
yeah, it kind of became like why Puff is like, it explains why she was really bad in, well, okay, not super bad, but why she was bad in both Brawl and Smash 4, and why in this game she's better, but she's not quite good. She's just kind of okay.
Yeah, that sums it up. Like, she has some specific confirms into rest, which I'm okay with those, to be honest. Like, if you're on top of things playing versus her, you should never get hit by them. Maybe from down air, but I am not sure how that works, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of inconsistent. It's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's always one of those gambles.
Yeah.
But anyway, honestly, in some ways, I think it would almost be more beneficial to just like either take out rest or redefine it as a move, because you saw what Nick All-Star did with Nigel Thornberry's down special, right?
I did not.
Essentially, what they did is that it was basically a combination between rest and Luigi's up B, where it has a tiny hitbox. It's pretty hard to land, but it's very powerful when it does. But essentially what they did is that they did not make it very they made it considerably weaker than rest in Luigi's up B, or I guess closer to Luigi's up B. But in exchange, though, it has way less end lag.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair, like, yeah, going more towards like Luigi up B.
So
I think one possible change would also be like making rest, like aerial rest, a decision between aerial rest and grounded rest. like make aerial risk have less knockback, but also less lag, which in turn might get some use for edge guarding. Who knows?
Yeah, that would have been like a nice option though. But like as is Ness, well, Rest has always just kind of remained as a very high risk, high reward move, and some people are cool with that, others aren't. Oh well. The only thing I really have to say is that I still hate that it's negative on hit, even when you kill the opponent. So this mod hopefully would have tried to kill that, but I don't even know if it would have.
Yeah, probably would have been enough.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyway.
But then again, we were just theory crafting.
Yeah, theory crafting. There would have been no way to figure this out unless we played this mod a lot or got some sort of a player base, and that would have been just a gamble, so oh well.
Yeah.
And next up was Peach and Daisy. Honestly, kind of just a ditto with Mario and Fox. She didn't... After all of her nerfs, I think she's in a comfortable spot.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, if you don't get hit by her obvious combo starter or try to wait them, you can get away for, like, without getting seared to death most of the time, I want to say.
Yeah.
And she has her troubles, like, against Swordies or against zoners in general, but aside from that, I think she's in a really good place. Like, not too oppressive, but still very much viable. Like, top tier viable, almost.
Yeah. And then there's Daisy, which, same story with Dark Samus. The only ideas I had for changes were just letting her pull out a beam sword and no longer being able to pull a Bob out. That actually is still coded in the game. They still have a multiplier for where she can pull out a beam sword. They just set it to 0, so
There is, okay. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, funny thing, Charizard, Pit, and Meta Knight's Gliding, they're still coded within the game. They're still like holdovers from Brawl. They just disabled it. You just can't use it.
Thank God.
And I think it was just a case where like they ported over the previous games onto like they just used Ultimate as a they just used the previous games as a template to make Ultimate, and they just kept over the holdovers, and they never bothered taking them out.
Which is fair. Like, you wouldn't make yourself more work than you already had, right?
Yeah, that's fine. It's kind of funny though, they found those same gliding code on Ridley, which heavily implies they used Charizard as a template for Ridley, which I think most people kind of expected that, but it's still kind of funny.
That's true, yeah.
They say that like if you were to like enable Ridley's gliding function, it would either crash the game or Ridley would just T-pose to the air, which just looks really funny just thinking about it.
Yeah, that would be quite a sight.
But oh well, we'll get to Ridley in another hour because we got a lot of characters to go through.
Yeah.
Next up is Bowser. Bowser's in a similar scenario with Link and Samus. He's pretty comfortably a high tier, but he doesn't really want to be left in the dust. This is kind of an interesting case though, because despite Bowser being a high tier, he does kind of have a commonly agreed bad matchup against Robin, who, spoiler warning, is not a high tier, at least in my opinion. So it was one of those cases where it doesn't really, like, the reality of being able to create a 50-50 very balanced game out of this mod is just impossible. But
yeah, like, there are so many matchups to consider. You will not get a completely equal matchup spread for everyone unless everyone is Mario.
Yeah, so, oh well. It was one of those cases where, like, I did what I could, or we could theorcraft what we could to make that matchup a little better. A little better for Bowser, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, as he is a really strong character, and if you are not, like, playing correctly versus him, he will screw you up, like, big time.
Yeah. In terms of official Smash games are concerned, he's probably the best designed heavy character, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Next up is, speaking of design, next up is Ice Climbers. A lot of Ice Climbers is really weird. They kind of go into the same Jigglypuff scenario where if you gave them, like, insane grab combos, they would probably be top tier. And they still do have insane grab combos, but there's nothing, like, super consistent or super consistently OP, though. At least from the looks of it. I don't know, I could be wrong.
Well, I played some Ice Climbers like recently. They do have fairly consistent stuff on you, but that like getting those hits versus characters with big disjoints is relatively hard for them.
Yeah, it was a case where like it was kind of a case of like Smash 4 Shulk though, where like yeah, Shulk had a lot of insanely good stuff though, but you could also just choose to play someone else and not have to do any of that, and hey, you don't get bad frame data on top of it. It's a case where like yeah, you can play Ices and get all those insane combos, but you also get a really slow, gimpable character who has a lot of lab time to do all those combos, so just play someone else.
Or you play Luigi and get the same 0-2 deaths with like a bit more neutral interaction, or easier neutral to play.
Yeah, so that was like, that's just kind of their inherent downfall though, but oh well. The stuff I put on here was fine. They'll probably be okay, but oh well. It's just kind of the nature of how they worked.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to Chic. Ditto for Samus and Bowser. Good enough, but doesn't want to be left behind. I think we did have a discussion about giving her more kill power.
Yeah, I think we talked about that, and like giving Chic kill power is like, then you look at the newest DLC right now, Pyramithra. You see what happens if you give such a character kill power.
That's basically what it is, yeah. Mithra just gets all the neutral interactions, gets all the combos, gets all the scenarios that's pretty relevant, and then she goes to Pyra and basically just lands 1 or 2 moves and you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh god, Pyra Mithra. But yeah, that's... Chic, it doesn't help that Chic is basically kind of overshadowed by so many other characters, because so many other characters have like slightly worse neutrals or slightly worse disadvantage states or whatever, but they have like much better times killing, so eh.
Yeah. If she only could kill, she'd be like a really strong force, but I'll be honest, thank God she has such trouble killing.
Yeah.
Because if not, she'd be kind of oppressive. Probably.
Yeah, let's not go back to pre-patch Smash 4. Pre-patch Smash 4 Chic was a...
It was something.
Yeah. It's best to leave that in the past.
Yes.
Alright, next up is Zelda. Zelda's a weird case. I honestly have a very high opinion of this character, but a lot of people still think she's kind of niche, so... eh.
She has some stuff, like... it's one of those matchups that if you do not know what you are doing, you will get stomped, quite literally. But if you like know what to watch out, I think the matchup gets way better, or way easier to play. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, once you get past the oppressive zoning with a, well, not really Dense Fire, but with a Phantom, she doesn't fall apart though. But she also she doesn't have a forward or back air, essentially. Unless she's fighting a heavy, she does not have a forward and back air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She does not have like any aerial pressure, I want to say, versus you, and like it's basically one big gamble on how she's playing the Phantom.
Yeah. So, oh well. It definitely seems like a case though where like she needs like either her forward or back air changed in order to be more consistent though, but. If that will ever happen is up in the air. I don't see it happening, but oh well.
Me neither.
Okay, next up is Dr. Mario, my favorite Smash character and the one I probably spent way too much time on. I'm gonna be honest, Doc sucks. I think he's bottom 3. I have no faith in this character.
I'll be honest, it's also one of the characters I put in way too much time though, just playing him for fun, and I think he is like... he could be a bit better, but I like actually his spot right now where he is. Like, if you get like some decent reads here and there, and like get your kill confirms with down tilt up B and stuff. Yeah, like he can be a pretty decent character in my opinion.
Yeah, this is still like relevant in ultimate terms. Like even the worst characters in this game would still probably be mid tiers in like Brawl, Smash 4, Melee, if you were to take like their overall power level. But sadly, like Ultimate, like kind of raised the bar up though to where low tier is no longer a death sentence, and I'm happy for that. But I also still don't have a high opinion of this character. He's insanely slow. That recovery, oh my god, his mid-range is terrible. Just, ugh. And then there was that.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good time ever to tell the story, but he also has a few moves that are negative on hit. They're not as bad as DK, but he has a few moves that are negative on hit. And I made a tweet about it last year where I poorly showed that off. I showed like a really bad video of it. And for whatever reason, that video got a lot of traction. And people did nothing but piss on it. They hated it. I don't even know. Well, okay, I know why. It's Twitter. If they see anything they can piss on or make a big deal about, they will. But it was very small and inoffensive, and people just went nuts about it. And like, guys, come on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smash Twitter in a nutshell for you.
Yeah. I still stand by it. I still stand by that Doc should not have negative on hit moves. I know they're not a big deal, but I still don't think they should be there, but whatever. So, you be like, honestly, there was tons of people out there that threw crap at me just because I said that. They say, dude, every character has negative on hit moves. What the hell are you whining about? And it's like, yes, I know it's not a big deal, but I still don't like it. But whatever, people.
Yeah.
That's how people are, so whatever. Okay. I've since then not looked at that tweet, and I blocked a lot of those people because, my God. I'm like, my God!
oh God.
Oh, well.
Thankfully, I did not see that.
It was kind of fun. I will say, like, get past the initial shock value of it getting a lot of oh my God, I can't talk. Past the initial shock value of it getting attention, it was pretty funny to laugh at some of the responses, like, my lord. But oh well. That's a story for. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. But anyway, Doc is like, he doesn't need many changes to be a great character in my opinion. He just needs a solid way of getting in. But
yeah, you say not many changes, but on your Doc it's more than a full page of changes. But I agree with you. It's not much needed for him to actually be viable. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like a lot of these changes though are just smaller quality of life changes that like. They're not really there because the character needed it. They're just there just to make the character feel better. And that's fine in my opinion, but I know some people are very strict when it comes to buff. They only want the very minimum. They like, oh, you let this move like kill like 5% earlier? No. He doesn't need that.
I know someone that thinks like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh well, different strokes for different folks. But anyway, on to Pichu. Same story with Samus and Link. Very solid high tier, needs a few quality of life changes, and he'll probably be good forever.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets his hands on you, you will take a lot of damage, if not just die from it. But at the same time, he will also deal like half a stock of recoil damage to himself.
Yeah, they did improve that in a later patch though, but it's like, I don't know. It could have been better, but oh well.
Yeah, but I think Pichu is like in a very good place right now, as to be fair, most of the characters are. Let's be real, like.
Yeah. This game is like insanely well balanced though. This is like getting into like going through the entire roster with like a fine-tuned comb. Like a fine-toothed comb, I should say. So like it's not super important though, but I found it interesting.
Yeah, it's fun to think about what could be improved on or what could possibly be like good for the game and the balance.
Yeah. Next is Falco. Falco's kind of in a similar story. Maybe not like as good as Pichu or Samus though, but he's still pretty solid for the most part. The only thing that like kind of screws him over though is that his laser hitboxes on up throw and back throw don't connect consistently, and he can sometimes have an issue killing. But otherwise, he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people that are not a big fan of Falco as he is right now, but I can agree that like in general he's like in a solid place. I just don't like cutscenes in any of my games, so I don't like this character.
Yeah, he's kind of like Diet Falcon in a way, where if he like lands a hit though, oh, that's it. Might as well go do your chores because you ain't gonna get to play the game for a while.
That's true. mashing the controller left and right, trying to SDI anything, but in the end it's just like, oh, I got back aired. Well, try again next stock.
Yeah. Oh well. Next up is Marth. Same story with God, we're getting a lot of high tiers. Same story with the other high tiers. Or honestly, you know, it's more debatable. Some people think Marth is like not bad, but very underwhelming. I don't know. I have faith in Marth though, but like, yeah, if he just didn't have an issue sweet spotting, he would be solid. But oh well.
If he didn't have an issue sweet spotting stuff, he'd be definitely top tier in my opinion. Like, Marth's kit just like in general like is really really good because he can still edge guard, he can still like play a really solid neutral, like stay safe most of the time. And if he had all that and consistent or at least semi-consistent tipper setups, yeah, you got yourself a character that just killed you at 70 with tipper F smash. So
yeah, I took.
Sounds fun.
Go ahead.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun. I did take note of that, and I put down all sweet spots now take priority over the sour spots, except for forward smash and the side B final hit, because those kill stupidly early. I don't want those things to be more consistent. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But everything else, fair, back air, up air, whatever. Sure.
Yeah, the moves he uses in neutral most, I want to say. That's like important, so he actually can be even more safe or like get more reward from at least not perfectly spacing stuff, but still spacing. Like, I think that's a big change for him already.
Yeah. But overall, Marth is in a pretty alright spot outside of a few changes. Next is Lucina. Same story with Mario. She's very consistent. She doesn't have many issues at all. Most of the stuff on here is just small quality of life things. Like, interestingly enough, like the up air, when they do the full slash and they get to the ending portion of it, the late portion of it, it does not have a hitbox. So, yeah, that's weird.
I do think I just saw a video today of like a Lucina trying to punish a shield break with like back hit up air and missing and ending up SDing for it.
Damn. Damn. Rest in peace.
So yeah, I really know what you mean by that change.
Oh well. But Lucina, she's, regardless if you think she's boring or not, she's fine tier-wise.
When people say she's boring, I think she's one of the most like fun character to watch in neutral, like.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at least.
Yeah. I will say though, definitely watch her in smaller chunks. Don't watch her like all the time. But, well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hard agree.
Alright, next up is Yunlink. This one might have just been my own personal bias, considering I hate fighting against Yunlink. But I, honest to God, did not know what to give him. I know he could use improvements, but like, giving Yunlink good kill power is like giving Chic good kill power. Like, you kind of don't do that.
Yeah, you really do not want to do that. And I think, as you said, like, if he just, like, his aerial spin attack is, like, consistent in hitting, I think that's already more than enough than he needs, to be honest.
Yeah, so I don't know. He's a character.
Yeah, he's a character. I agree with that.
Next up is Ganondorf. I don't think he needs too much introduction. He just needs to be faster. He needs a recovery that is less vulnerable. I think you can basically...
And he needs Genocide.
Yeah, and he needs Genocide, yeah. A lot of these changes are probably not necessary, but oh well, it's fun to speculate.
Yeah, Ganon is like, if you give him like bit like enough speed, he suddenly becomes one of the scariest like fighters to go up against. Because what do you want? Trade with this like character that does 20% or more each interaction? Like even the most heaviest of heaviest do not want to take those trades with him.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I play K-Rool, I fight against a lot of online Ganons. I was insanely shocked when I kept consistently losing my stocks at 80. It's like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Alright, it's Ganon, never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but yeah, Ganon is pretty self-explanatory. Next up is moving on to Mewtwo. Mewtwo is kind of in an interesting scenario, though, where he's, like, so close to being a top tier, but there's, like, that one or two things screwing him over. And I think most people agree that it's just the tail hurt box as well as him just being a bit too light.
Yeah, Mewtwo is like in an interesting spot because sometimes I feel like, God, he's camping under the small battlefield platform again, and if he comes there, I cannot react to his like teleport to the other side because it's Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But on other stocks, I think like, oh, he just died at 60. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't help he was like his inherent design is just very polarized, but well. Maybe just like the tail hurt box and a few smaller consistencies would have been enough for him, so well.
Yeah. Also, did you know that like what was it? Confusion? No, not Confusion. Disable has intangibility on it.
I did not know that.
It has intangibility on startup, right before or even overlapping with the hitbox itself.
Dang.
So you will lose that trade. And your sock, probably.
That's hilarious. Oh gosh, Mewtwo. Next is Roy. Same story as Mario. Not much to say. Chrom. Honestly, I'm of the opinion that he's on the same tier with Roy, so that's all I gotta say. You?
Yeah, I think I have Roy a little bit higher, but I don't think they're a part of the whole tier. Like, at worst, like Roy, I don't think he's at the bottom of top tier, but like, for example, at the bottom of top tier and Chrom at the top of high tier or something like that. That's the most I could see them being apart, but no, they're like the same character. One kills a bit earlier, the other kills always a bit later, but he kills then and not any later if you don't get the hit, the right sweet spot.
Yeah.
Though then again, have you ever seen any of Roy's moves not sweet spot? Like, those moves have such generous hitboxes, I feel like.
It's just give Roy sweet spots hitboxes to Marth. Oh lord.
Yeah, we would be in trouble.
Rest in peace. Next is Game & Watch. People hate Game & Watch. I kind of wanted to tweak him, but I also didn't want to nerf him. So Game & Watch, you get to survive this day.
The only thing you could do is like try to do something with his up B, but then again, like, what you're gonna do about it? It's like give him free fall after and completely make him unviable, or make the hitbox come out a bit later. Like, yeah, it's really tough to get something like good for him.
Yeah, like honestly, Game & Watch was one of those characters I don't think we ever got to discussing, but in a way, like, if everyone else got buffed and Game & Watch stayed the same, tier-wise, I don't really think it would change that much for him. But then again, some people just hate the frame 3 up B though, so, and that could just be another, like, changing just for the sake of fun, but oh well.
Yeah, but then again, you were probably not going to die because of that frame 3 up B. You just get launched and then have to land versus him, which indeed can be troublesome with some of his hitboxes, but most of them are not that scary.
Oh, Game & Watch. Next is Meta Knight. Meta Knight's kind of in a, I don't know, maybe in a lesser extent though, but he's kind of in a similar case to Mewtwo where it always felt like he was lacking that spice that really like drew people to him. Although some people are like starting to focus on him more though, because like they realize, oh god, his down tilt is kind of insane. His disadvantage is kind of really good. So maybe he might not need some of the changes that are on this list. So who knows?
Yeah, I think like buffing him, you always run the risk of getting like really easy ladder combos on anyone, right?
Yeah.
That's a big thing you have to be concerned then. But all in all, I think Meta Knight is probably on the lower sides of the tier, most of the tier lists, like, but I think he's generally like in a really solid spot.
Yeah. So good job, Meta Knight. Not bad.
But not brawl level.
Yeah. I don't miss that.
Me neither.
Okay, next is the Pits. I guess this is when I can talk about, this was one of the few times I attempted to declone them, and all I really did was just give Pit better grounded mobility and Dark Pit better aerial mobility. You would kind of have to look at them side by side though, since there are a plethora of changes though that do don't quite make sense at first, though, but if you think about it, they do. But anyway, yeah, like, Pit just got better ground speed, and Dark Pit just got better airspeed. But aside from that, they basically are still kind of the same character. For the most part, most of these other changes outside of small quality of life ones were just fixing the blind spots. I never knew this, but apparently his forward tilt and his dash attack actually had blind spots. I didn't even know that.
I did not see them, like, not connect. Like, usually those moves hit for me, but I think he had bigger problems with his, like, multi-hit moves that really did not work as intended for many situations.
Yeah, it just turns out the blind spots in his forward tilt and dash attack were just vertical oriented. Like, he ends up slashing vertically, but they only hit horizontally. And most of the time you only use those moves in, like, horizontal situations, though, so it usually doesn't matter, but it's still kind of odd.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But oh well. Pit, go ahead.
I think those two are in a good... Were, like, even without your decloning, I've heard many of Pit mains, or yeah, Dark Pit mains, say that they actually prefer Pit for many matchups, but especially for Zona matchups, they prefer actually Dark Pit even without, like, decloning him. Because just Silver Arrow works a bit better versus opponents trying to zone you.
Yeah, Silver Arrow works a little better against anti-zoning as well as characters you know you're gonna snipe or you know you're gonna hit off stage.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, oh well. The design is interesting. Next up is Zero Suit Samus. This is one of the few times though where, like, I hit her with a nerf. But all she really got though was just a better forward smash because her forward smash sucks. And
yeah,
this also came with giving the kick variant on a flip jump a little less end lag. But it also made the spike kickbox a lot weaker because we've all seen the combos. You get nared, like, you're at like 30% or 20%, you get nared, and then she flip kicks you and kills you at like 30. That is not okay.
And you don't even get to double jump. You just straight up die.
That is not okay. I don't care what anyone says. Screw you, Mars, constantly joning for the character. That is not okay. Get rid of that. Like, the combo can still exist. It can still kill, when spikes normally kill, like a normal character, but not at 20. You are not Ganondorf. You do not need a move that kills that early.
Yes, I mean, you can still get a good edge guard out of it. Like, so what? Like, if like the flip jump is not as strong anymore, this combo doesn't kill at 30 anymore, you still have them trying to recover really, really low, and you can go try edge guard them from there.
Yeah. So if anything, it just adds an extra step, and if you don't complete that other step, oh well, you're ZSS, you're still an insanely good character. It's not that big of a deal.
No.
Okay. But anyway, ZSS, ZSS. Next up is Wario. Wario, honestly, most of these changes are just, again, quality of life changes. But again, it came at the expense of Waft, which, honestly, this does greatly neuter Waft's kill potential. And all these changes were made before, like, the Waft nerf a few patches ago. So, if anything else, though, they might have just, like, been enough to nerf Waft and just make Wario play more standard like a normal character. So, I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with these, though, but I'm kind of curious to see what other people think about them.
Yeah, Wario's, like, I don't know how you could, like, try to balance him without, like, going over Waft itself, because let's face it, Wario is Waft the character. It's your win con. If you don't hit it, you basically might lose the game because of it. And trying to make it not as the character not centralized about it is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I'm honestly, like, I'm in favor of them dropping Waft and just... Well, you can keep the concept of Waft of being like a nuke hidden up his sleeve. Like, you can keep that concept, but I think they could just drop, like, the Waft, the actual fart move, and just replace it with, like, something else that fits Wario in a less juvenile way and is way less polarizing. I think you could still fix that. Kind of like, like we said before, kind of like what they did with Nigel Thornberry, just having kind of like a diet version of Rest, but it's still good.
Yeah, probably that would work out as well, yeah.
But oh well. Wario is interesting. Next up is Snake. This is probably the character who got hit the most, and it isn't even that big of nerfs. All we really did was just give him less shield stun on his up tilt and made grenades no longer frame 1 escapable. It went from frame 1 to frame 3, so it's worse, but not that much worse.
Yeah, I mean, frame 3 is like as fast as his new airdrop startup, right? So it would have made a big change probably, but I would be interested to see what Snakes could have done with a disadvantage if they did not have access to their frame 1 grenade.
Yeah, Snake is kind of that case though where like, I'm gonna be honest, similarly young, like I hate Snake. I don't hate any Snake players, just to clarify, but I can't stand Snake's design. I understand why they gave him what they did, but it's a case where, like, okay, you have every character, they have, like, 2 or 3 X Factors. Snake has, like, 10 of them, and he doesn't need half of them.
Yeah, and he always felt like the D-zoner, but his, like, close combat stuff is ridiculous as well.
Yeah, it was so many cases where it felt like, okay, Snake is a pain in the ass to get in. So, at the very least, you should be rewarded for getting past, like, the explosion field or whatever. Oh, wait, he has frame 1 grenades and can just deny some of your combos. Great!
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God. I don't hate the idea of Snake being a bombing-centric character, but for the love of God, can he have a healthier design next time?
Probably not, but hey, we can always hope.
We can always hope, yeah. Okay, so this is your character as well as Person 3's character. I remember I actually got into kind of a big debate with her about Ike's Nair. She did not want me to nerf Ike's Nair, and I eventually just gave in and chose not to nerf it.
I mean, they did nerf it like from the devs themselves, so
yeah,
that's something.
It is something, yeah, but I still think it is a little too over-centralized. Like, okay, I'm fine with it being safe on shield. I'm fine with it being a kill confirm. I'm not fine with it being both. That's where I drew the line.
To be honest, that's fair. That's what many Ikes thought at the beginning of Ultimate as well, like especially those coming from Smash 4. But to be fair, he already had some Nair kill confirms, even though they were like almost percentage perfect, like back hit of Nair into up air was a kill confirm that could work from time to time.
Yeah, like the kill confirms are still there. And, like, they're not as bad as pre-patch, but I don't know. I'm just kind of in favor of just, like, making Nair, like, do one of 2 of those things and just making the rest of his kit better. But I know some people really like it the way it is, so, whatever.
I'm also in favor of making some other moves, like forward air could be definitely a bit better once again.
Yeah.
Though they buffed it kinda recently, I wanna say. And the one thing that everyone wants from Ike is his Smash is not just being straight up worse options than Ganon's.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
That's literally what I did the doc. I literally just gave it Ganon's frame data, and that was it.
Yeah, and I think to be fair, if like you gave Ike Ganon's up smash in conjunction with his like up air juggling and stuff, it might get a little dicey, but hey, I am not the one to complain about Ike buffs.
Yeah. Yeah, just a bit more to give like Ike just a bit more variety in his kit would have really helped. But oh well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, he never was the one with like really good grounded options, but at least down tilt, like with the change we have here, is like then somewhat safe on shield, because right now it actually is like minus 13 on shield or something like that, so it's really not that safe on shield.
Yeah, I mean, unless you count being a disjoint as safe, but no.
Yeah, that's true. It's safe if like perfectly spaced, but if you want to get the down tilt kill confirms with Ike right now, you are not allowed to space it. So unless they DI in for some reason, which if you DI in on Ike down tilt, yeah, you deserve that up air.
Yeah, rip. But anyway, also, can Ike actually have a counter that's not a lag fest? That would be nice.
He had it in Smash 4, but they decided to give him, I think the laggiest counter of them all, and like the second or third slowest startup as well.
Oh god. I counter. But anyway, next up onto Squirtle. I'm just gonna be honest right now. I think Squirtle's balance is perfect. In terms of like how it works on its own, as well as like how it works in Pokemon Trainers Kit, I think it's, in my opinion, perfect, and I think the devs agree, because this character gets basically no changes.
I'm not always on that line, to be honest. I'm not always happy to receive those big Squirtle low percent combos, but like all in all, he feels okay, yeah.
Yeah, like if it was a case, like if Squirtle was just his own character, then sure, he could probably use some changes. But like in terms of how he plays in Pokemon Trainer's role, in my opinion, I'm completely satisfied with it.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
Next up is Ivysaur. I know we already kind of talked about Ivysaur, like, or Pokemon Trainer as a whole, but Ivysaur was kind of like, pre-patch Pokemon Trainer was in a way just kind of a little too centralized around Ivysaur, and then they changed it up though, so where he's still a pretty prevalent role. You still see a lot of people just play Ivy most of the time, but he's clearly like not the definitive like, oh, he could just do everything in every scenario fine enough.
Yeah, he has more of a specific role right now in like trying to get those like kill confirm windows up or zone some people out. And aside from that, like Squirtle is probably right now the best character of PT and Ivy. I mean, it's like earlier. Squirtle's best, Ivy is like middle, and Charizard still considered not the best of the three, I want to say. But they all have their roles which they can fulfill like more than decently, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm still kind of the opinion that I think I'm still the opinion that Ivy's the best. I just still think up air, down air, and up B are a little overtuned. But compared to where we started, he's in a much better scenario or area. But anyway, moving on to Charizard. Charizard honestly probably doesn't even need any of these changes at all, considering how well balanced PT is, but screw it. I kind of like to see people use Charizard a bit more, so why not?
Yeah, for some reason I struggle most against Charizard, I feel like, but that's probably just me standing there and like, how am I gonna approach this thing right now and try something without dying, because we're both at high percents already.
Oh, Rage Charizard is like one of the scariest things in this game.
Yeah, one of the scariest and one of the most fun things if you play him.
Yeah. But now we move on to Diddy. A lot of these changes were made before Tweak started picking up the character and doing really well with him, so maybe Diddy might not need many buffs at all. But
I always told you.
You were right. I was wrong to doubt Diddy, but it could have just very well been a case where like Diddy was like a slightly watered down version of his previous Smash 4 incarnation, but he's still really good. So, oh well.
I mean, a character with an item like banana, throw combos, kill confirms. What else do you need? Like,
yeah,
banana alone makes this character this character cannot be any worse than highest of mid tiers, like if not even high tier.
Yeah, well, I guess it also doesn't help that a lot of us bought into the Zero propaganda. He would always consistently say Diddy sucked, and I'm thinking, you said Diddy sucked back in Smash 4 though, and he was still a top tier.
Yeah, he was. I don't know what people consider him, but he was like solid top 5 for me.
Yeah, I was one of those people who thought he was top 3, but yeah. Diddy's in a good position. He doesn't really need too many changes.
No.
Anyway, next up is Lucas. Lucas honestly perplexes me. This character honestly should be a strong high tier though, but like you never see anyone play him. So like we don't really get much of an idea of how great he can be. But I guess it also doesn't help though, like similar to Yoshi, he doesn't do that great against swords though, so maybe that's why we don't see more of him.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, Lucas, on paper, he has some of the most insane conversions with, like, the double jump Sair stuff, right? But I don't know why people do not play him. Maybe he feels too floaty for some, or too campy for others. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. Lucas is in a weird spot though, but maybe one day we'll find out. Oh god, Sonic. There's no changes.
No changes needed.
If there were any changes, we all know what they would be.
It would be make Ultimate make a better online for Ultimate or the Switch in general.
Ah well, the best alternative we have is Yuzu/Parsect, which is better. It's not perfect, but it's better.
Better, yeah.
Next up is King Dedede. King Dedede, to me, always feels like he's really close to being one of the worst characters of the game, but he always just narrowly avoids it because he has like one or two things that he could just throw out and kind of abuse against you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the ledge versus Diddy, there's a solid chance you just die on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, vice versa, ledge trapping or edge guarding him is not the easiest thing at all.
It's weird.
He at least has that.
Yeah, it's really weird. He has like typical heavyweight issues, but he also breaks heavyweight conventions in a lot of areas that people are still just not used to.
Yeah.
So he's a weird character though. He could definitely use a better neutral, but it's also kind of that case of like if you gave Dedede a consistently better neutral or disadvantage, then you would have to deal with his ledge trapping more often. And that might be a little much.
Yeah.
But, oh well. I guess we'll never find out since Dedede is... he's okay, but he's still not good. But oh well. Next up is Olimar. Literally, only change he got was just a better Nair because his Nair kinda sucks. But that's literally it. Just a better Nair.
To be honest, I haven't seen like any Olimar play offline like in my region. Though to be fair, we are not a big region.
Oh, that's...
I don't know how this character plays.
Oh, that's fine. I don't like Olimar.
It's probably still the same, run away and throw stuff at you and try to hit you with like combo starters like up smash.
Yeah, I hate Olimar's design. I don't like this character's design. It sucks.
Not many do.
Because I love Pikmin, but oh god, Olimar. Anyway, next up is Lucario. Honestly, again, similar to Mewtwo, he's like one change away from being like a top tier, but like they just haven't done it.
Yeah, he's like, you give him something and he can snowball it into heaven and beyond. Like,
yeah, like if he just didn't die as early, if he just had his Smash 4 weight, he honestly just might be in the same like high tier position or a very inconsistent high tier position that he was back in Smash 4. Like, it doesn't help that his design is inherently made to be inconsistent though, so it kind of feels, in a way, it almost feels kind of wrong to put him on a tier list just due to how much he could snowball or fall apart. I don't know.
yeah, it's one of the characters you absolutely want to get a lead on, because if he gets the lead and he hits you 3 times with that lead, you basically, he has lapped you in percent.
Yeah, like that's it's kind of a no wonder why so many people think he's one of the worst and why so many people think he's a sleeper pick. Because oh god, he gets very little damage, and then next stock, oh god, he just killed me at 60 with a back air.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah, gosh, maybe one day we'll figure out. Next up is Rob. I know some people are gonna hate this because Rob gets buffs, and Rob is like oddly one of the most consistent characters. Like, he consistently gets insane results despite having very clear weaknesses.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see all the Rob hate as well. Like, in my opinion, it's a good character, right? Don't get me wrong, but I think he's in a good spot right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just because people just hate Gyro or they hate dying off the side with rotor arms, so meh.
Yeah, that'll happen. Like, don't want to say once a set at least, but it can happen once a set.
Yeah. Well, actually, wait. I just remembered he has a down throw berry. That's another reason why people hate him.
True. He's another one of those mashing minigames.
Oh gosh, mashing. I don't like it. I do main Banjo and K. Rool though, so maybe that's why I don't hate it as much, but I still kind of hate it.
I think people have gotten used to it at least a bit.
Yeah. But oh well. The next time I go to Nick's All-Stars Discord, people they'll remember that, and then they'll just spend 20 minutes complaining about that. It's like, oh god, can't we talk about something else? Anyway, next up is Toon Link. Okay, unpopular opinion. I actually think this character is really good and honestly a potential top tier. But I'm alone on that opinion. No one agrees with it at all.
I will agree that he is better than most people give it credit on, but not a top tier.
Yeah, I can kind of see why, because he's like more of a balance. He's honestly like more of a balanced, fair version of the other Links, but he still has a lot more that they just can't do. Like he's got the best mobility and probably the best recovery. But, oh well. It probably also doesn't help that he doesn't have, like, that new toy smell that, like, Young Link or regular Link has, so maybe that's why not many people have drifted to him.
That could be a big thing, yeah. I think most in all, like, he has, like, solid tools. He can delete your stocks, like, ridiculously early with bomb fair confirms at ledge. Like, you wouldn't even think that it should kill that early, but, like, oh, I just died at 90, okay,
Yeah. I do want to bring attention to this one change, go to down air. I did some research and found out that a lot of, like, stall and fall down airs have insanely really high end lag. And we all know how fast how fast Toon Link falls when he does his down air. I'm thinking, why does that move have so much end lag? No, it doesn't need it. Get rid of it. But then I realized the hitbox also lasts a long time, so I should probably fix that too.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, honestly, this change on down air probably isn't going to change anything people use with it, but I don't know. I wanted to do it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it might change one of those situations where you, like, get launched and, like, buffer the down air right and you stall, like, kind of in place.
Yeah.
But aside from there, it probably will not change anything.
Oh, well. Oh, wait. That changed... I think they changed that, like that weird momentum thing with down airs. I think they changed that in the patch. I don't think you can do that anymore.
I do not, okay. I don't know. It was a rare thing to begin, like, for me to see, so... I haven't seen it, like, in quite a while, and I've just thought that it never got, like... We never got the window for it.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but oh well. But, maybe one day we'll find out. I've been saying that a lot recently. This is what happens when you do these videos on the fly. You end up repeating yourself a lot.
That is true, and it's also what happens if you theory craft. We will find out someday.
Yeah. Alright, next... Oh, God. We're a little bit over half, though, but some of these, though, I think we can snowball by pretty quickly. Anyway, next is Wolf. I think a month ago we had a conversation with Person 3 about this, and I think you can kind of agree that down smash and back air don't need to be as strong as they are, at least the sweet spots are.
Yeah, they do not, but they are not what makes these characters broken, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
Or what they are not what makes these characters as good. Like, in my opinion, like, he's really consistent neutral with his high mobility, which he can just, like, drift in there from, like, halfway across stage and still hit you. That's what makes his character really good.
Yeah, like the insanely strong back air and down smash just felt like overkill at that point. So yeah, I think just like just a few other changes that still kind of gives him that spice. Like having the blaster, like the melee hit on of it, actually do a lot of damage. I think is a cool change because you get to see people zone whip it less and actually go in with it.
Yeah, that could actually be a very fun change and make like his flowchart neutral a little bit less less strong, I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And then like actually give his reflector some better combo potential because people know you can combo off a shine, but it's like barely just not enough frame advantage to be really good or really cool. So just a little bit more though, and it could be like that really cool combo tool that people kind of want to see from it.
That's true. That's where Melee has spoiled us all. Like a shine needs to lead into something.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, I think like giving shine like that very strong combo potential kind of makes up for normalizing his down smash and back air.
Yeah, that definitely would be a change. That would make this character feel a bit less. I don't want to say cheesy, but flowchart, but still cheesy like.
Yeah, he still has that crazy spice, but it's in a lot more of a controlled area. Like, you have to land the dare rather than just a raw back air or something like that.
Yeah.
The dare, you have to actually go in and land the shine, which has more risk behind it compared to just landing a fair back air and killing at 70.
Yes.
But anyway, next up is Villager. It feels like a lot of people kind of forgot about this character, considering how he was no longer the big new hot meme. But Villager is like, he's very solid, but you like rarely see people play him because he doesn't have like that high like thing that really brings him. I don't even know actually, because he still has Pocket. He still has that forward smash bowling ball that is still stupidly strong. Why don't people play this character more?
I cannot tell it because in my my region, people are all about Isabelle because our maybe best player at the moment plays Isabelle. So.
Oh god, I can't wait to get to that discussion.
Yeah. But I think Villager has like still like solid stuff. Like his Lloyd alone makes like neutral a rock paper scissors like an RPS.
Yeah.
And yeah, he can always go from there. And his zoning is really strong. His anti-zoning is even better, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it could have just been a case though where too many sword characters just kind of didn't really push him out of the meta, but it definitely scared people from wanting to try him out though, since Villager doesn't really like swords.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And admittedly, like while he definitely has a lot of cheese, he doesn't tend to get a lot of crazy damage unless you land like a tree setup though, which rarely happens. So maybe that might have been the reason why.
Probably, definitely. He's like. He has stuff, but not so much stuff that you like get consistent good results, or at least people do not consider it to get consistent good results with him.
Yeah, he's kind of like Pit though, where he's like pretty solid, but also kind of honest, which is kind of weird saying to Villager, saying he's honest though, but in a way he kind of is.
Yeah, if you look away from Bowling Ball, he's an honest character.
Yeah. But that's the case. But oh well. Villager is a character. Oh, God. Now we got Mega Man. I don't think Mega Man really needs any changes. I don't know. I don't want to change this character.
Yeah, as always, you run the risk of like making him too over-centralized with like escape options and or better zoning tools. I think right now the meta has adapted around his zoning tools really like pretty okay. Ish.
Yeah, because he still does consistently do consistently very well, but it's like that case where like he's very strong, like debatably maybe even top tier, but like you never see people pick him up though, because he's admittedly a hard character to use and has like a very niche playstyle too. So it's like he's really good, but just not seen enough.
Yeah.
And I can kind of say the same thing for the next character, Wii Fit Trainer. I don't know why they kept buffing this character. I really do not know why they kept doing it, but they just did. And apparently she's still not high tiered to some people, and I don't see why, because this character is just... Ugh.
I mean, if your most basic game plan is trying to plank the ledge, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
That's probably something, but her on-stage options, like with deep breathing, you basically have like a 2-move shield breaker. Like any 2 strong hits might already break a shield, or a slightly damaged shield at least. You do so much damage, you take so much less damage. I don't know why this character isn't played more, but it's probably because of that niche style on the ledge.
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, maybe most people just don't connect with Wii Fit the series, so they're like, oh well.
That could be a big reason as well, yeah.
But that's kind of similar to like not the next character, but some characters we'll get to later. Oh gosh, Rosalina. similarly to Young Link, I did not know what to do with this character because they already seem to be very good, but they also have kind of very clear weaknesses, so, eh.
Yeah, it's a tough. They are like in a tough spot. Like you rarely ever seen any of those. Like, I haven't seen a Rosalina in brackets. Like, I don't think all Ultimate, to be honest.
I know DeBuzz still plays her though, but he like plays like a lot of characters though.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I wouldn't know what to really change about her. She feels like she can be like a solid threat in bracket, but at times she feels like Luma just dies and dies and dies.
Yeah, it doesn't help though that like any move basically sends Luma flying. So it's another one of those cases though where it's like she hopes, like she wants to get the lead or she wants to make sure you never touch Luma.
Yeah.
But oh well. Here's gonna be a fun one. Little Mac. We actually had a discussion about this a while back. Little Mac is one of possibly the worst characters in the game, and honestly, probably one of the worst designs. Oh man, Little Mac.
Yeah, I get what they were going for with his design, but it just does not translate well in a competitive platform fighter.
Yeah, honestly, Rock said it best. He's considered to be a very weak character, but he's still insanely scary and frustrating to fight, which often leads to people like camping on a platform or just not wanting to engage with him, which just becomes frustrating for the Mac to deal with. So, who wins?
It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, you have a character that can routinely kill you or be killed at 70, so like, what do? You have KO Punch that is going to kill you extremely early, but it's also very niche and narrow in uses, but it's also unblockable and very fast. It's like, in some cases, it almost felt like this character was designed to be frustrating.
Yeah, it really feels like it. And I think we had many changes. I don't even remember on which like version of trying to fix him or redesign him we ended up, because we had so many ideas in so many different directions.
Yeah, so many interpretations. The interpretation like we listed on here was just make Mac less polarizing but still ground focus, which I think is a healthy choice for him. I think you can like nerf his smash attacks and make his KO punch more well-rounded to still be a good move, but like actually not a move that kills you at 20 and is unblockable.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest change we really had, or that is necessary to make him not as frustrating to play versus.
Yeah, so I think overall just making Mac just more more consistent on the ground, but not helpless on the air and off stage is really what would help at all, though. I think like the main offenders of this character was just his insanely strong smash attacks and KO punch.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to say noob killer, but like his armor F smash was just like everyone just be landing aerials on you, and you were just like, yeah, I eat your aerial and I trade it for my F smash.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mac. If Mac ever returns for Smash 6, I really hope he gets a redesign. It sucks, because I was so happy when Mac got announced, though, because I really wanted to see him in the game. And he was in here. And granted, he is a really fun character, but he's just way too damn niche to use competitively.
Yeah, that's his biggest downfall.
But oh well. I'm still glad he's in the game. I never thought Punch-Out was going to be playable, but hey, it is.
Yeah, he was a great choice in my opinion as well. Like he really feels like he belongs into the game.
Yeah, it kind of makes me laugh though how I'm not sure like how the character demand was in Europe though, but I know in North America a lot of people really wanted to see Little Mac, but like nobody like in Japan like very few people actually knew who Little Mac was, and it always kind of made me laugh.
I wouldn't even know, to be honest, but I think he was fairly popular.
Yeah, I don't know though, because like whenever people say like West, like terminology wise, they're usually referring to both Europe and North America, and it kind of like confuses me a little though, so I don't know. But oh well.
Fair enough.
But I don't know though. That's what I've just heard some people say though. But Little Mac is interesting. Anyway, next is Greninja. Same story with Rosalina and Mario, just eh.
Yeah, as annoying as that dash attack is, he is one of the better balanced character right now.
Yeah. Next up is me, Brawler. A lot of this, though, like, most of these changes was done by Person 3, though, so you can thank her for that. Honestly, most of these changes you probably wouldn't need anymore, though, since people have kind of figured out how strong me, Brawler is with the right moveset combination.
Yeah, he is really scary, especially if you go to Yoshi's. Do not take this character to Yoshi's if you have it in your rule set.
Yeah. Well, I guess it also doesn't help, though, that we still cannot agree on a stage list this far into the game's lifespan.
That's true, yeah.
But oh well. Brawler is good. Honestly, I think only like some of the lesser used moves, though, could probably just use a buff, but otherwise, eh.
Yeah, he has a solid moveset right now that you can use. I think like all 3 of his up specials get usage. That's already a big improvement to well, in Smash 4 they weren't league, but that's already a big thing for him, I want to say.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, Brawler is an interesting case though, despite being stuck on the Mii's though, some of the least used characters ever though. So.
Yeah.
And speaking of least used Mii characters, we have Mii Sword Fighter, who, remember when people freaked the hell out from Gale Strike and Up Air, and then people just decided, oh, never mind, it's not that great.
Yeah, like, it's really, you never see Mii Sword Fighters, or almost never, and I've also played him like once to try out how busted it actually is. It's not that like lenient as you would think it is, actually.
Yeah, it's a case where it was probably just another case of the character being overhyped a little too early on, and then when people realized it wasn't that big of a deal, though, they just forgot about him.
Yeah.
But oh well. Mii Sword Fighter is, honestly, I still think the character's fine, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a Mii. Do you know much about the Miis? I don't.
Yeah.
And finally, on to our final one is Mii Gunner. Oh gosh, I remember so many people had faith with her in Smash 4 though, but then, nope. And even then in this game, it's kind of weird though. She's like always unanimously like, is she actually good? I don't know. Nobody plays her, so.
Yeah, that's her biggest problem. But I think Mii Gunner I played like a bit kind of recently. She's fun to play, and she has some moves that I do not want to go up against. Like, I don't even know which one it is. I think it was the neutral special, the grenade one, which basically auto-ledge traps anyone.
Yeah.
She has some stuff, but like it's nothing like world-breaking.
Yeah, it's just honestly like I fought like a decent amount of Mii Gunners in bracket, but I can't really judge how good this character was, considering I played Dr. Mario and K. Rool, who are, spoiler warning, not the greatest characters, and also kind of hate zoning. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Mii Gunner's an interesting like scenario though. I did talk with one of my friends about a month ago, and apparently he found out that he used like the charge shot and reflector combinations against Kazuya. It's insanely polarizing because you have charge shot, you use it, he reflects it, you reflect it back, he dies.
You can actually still reflect it once after he reflected it to you back. Like,
yeah, apparently, like when I thought that, I thought like, wait, wouldn't your reflector just break because Kazuya's reflector is so strong? But apparently, he said that you can just reflect it. But okay, so maybe he was talking about like a partially charged shot and not a fully one.
That might have been the case, but I think I don't even know what the reflector threshold is in this game. But in Smash 4 it was like 50, and you should exceed that after Kazuya reflected the charge shot.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I would have to ask him more details about that. But I thought that was really funny that like Mii Gunner has an oddly really good matchup against Kazuya. But oh well.
I can see that actually.
But But in terms of like oddly, actually, I don't even know how to transition to that next one. Next we have Palutena. Honestly, I think after all of her nerfs, Palutena is fine-ish.
Yeah. She's annoying, but it's okay at the moment. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't help that like all the other DLC characters have kind of taken attention away from her.
Yeah, she might be a problem like in half a year when patches do not drop as regularly as they are now.
But we'll have to wait and see. Oh god, same story for Pac-Man. It's just, Pac-Man, what do we do with you?
Yeah, I think he's in a good place right now. He has some good zoning here and there. The only thing that is not always as fun, I want to say, is like when he has Bell in hand and just kind of there flickering his shield around and just waiting for you to make a move.
Yeah.
But aside from that, he has clear weaknesses, like his landing is not that great once you've baited that hydrant. His recovery is good distance-wise, but if you know how to challenge it wisely, you can challenge it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's solid, but nothing like nothing overtuned.
Yeah, I would agree though. Pac-Man is interesting. I'll say that much though, as much as people hate fighting against them, but well, I think honestly, like in a case where like if like Ganondorf got a lot better though, he probably wouldn't mind Pac-Man as much.
I could see that, yeah. I mean, Gan already has like, which of his moves does not move and does not knock the hydrant over?
Yeah, I think the only move that Ganon does not knock it over is jab, but that's basically it.
Probably, maybe down tilt even, but that's already a stretch.
Yeah. Anyway, next up is Robin. I already talked about Robin a little bit with the Bowser showcase, but Robin is honestly, Robin is not played enough.
Yeah, he has a really good air-to-air like anti-airs. Like his fair and nair are so good when done rising as an anti-air versus another character.
Yeah, but it's also that same case where like he's still too slow like for his archetype. His spell tomes, they're good, but they're not as good as other characters, if you get what I mean.
They're not good enough to be on a limited resource, like.
Yeah, that's kind of the main thing too, and it still doesn't help that he's the character that like can still run out of recoveries, which, yes, his recovery is better than the last game, but you can still run out of recoveries, and if you constantly find yourself of getting hit, edge guard, it's like recover, get edge guard, recover, edge guard, recover, edge guard. Yeah, okay, I'm out of upbeats.
Yeah, that's true. You can sometimes like try to like change the edge guard into a juggle situation, which is not that much better, but at least you will have your wind tone back when you get back to ledge.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do with Robin. I will say this: I found out about this like within the first year of Ultimate, and it really surprised me it was still there. But apparently, you know how a lot of moves in Smash 4 that put you into free fall but didn't help your recovery were changed, like DK's Giant Punch or Ness's PK Flash?
Yeah.
Robin's down special Nosferatu, apparently if he landed that move on an opponent in midair, he would go in free fall. That's still the case in this game.
That's actually weird, but only if you land it, right?
Only if you land it. Like, if you whiff it, it's fine. You don't go into free fall. But in this game, you still do. I have no idea why the hell they did that in Smash 4 and why it's still in this game. Maybe they just forgot they left it in the game and they didn't change it at all, but, like, that's... Why that move, of all things, putting you into free fall? It makes no sense.
They probably wanted to, like, keep you from trying to, like, suck them down with Nosferatu and then still being able to recover or something like that.
I guess, but once you hit an opponent in midair with it, you kind of stop this. You slow down your descent though. Like you kind of pause and then you fall down, kind of like a counter.
That's true.
So
yeah.
I don't know. maybe if we're lucky enough, someone will ask Sakurai in an interview and he'll probably say something like, It was Bandai Namco's decision on the balance team or whatever.
Maybe.
But oh well. I've been saying oh well a lot. Anyway, next up is Shulk. All Shulk really got on this thing was just moves linking properly and letting his aerials auto-cancel and full hop. Which don't really matter, honestly, considering he has basically no landing lag most of the time.
Yeah. Aside from sometimes it feels like he is cheating, but he really is not, in my opinion. It's not that bad. But maybe my character does not like experience it that hard.
Yeah.
He feels like alright.
Yeah, he's kind of in that similar tier with Peach where he's a very good character, but he still has very defined weaknesses, and he clearly is not easy enough to play where he can like carry people.
Yeah, and I think that's really like something the player base wants, to be honest.
Yeah, so Shulk is in a good position though. I wouldn't mind if his counter got a little better, but at the same time, if he had a good counter, that might be a little too oppressive.
Yeah, he would have everything then, almost.
Yeah.
Besides good frame data.
Yeah, not good startup though. He won't have that. All right, next up is Bowser Jr. Similar scenario with a. Okay, I guess I haven't really said this though, but similar scenario with other characters. I kind of think Bowser Jr. is a lot better than people give him credit for. Although I could still see why he's not played very much though. He doesn't really have that new toy scent or anything super cheesy or huge that draws people to him.
Yeah, he really does not have that.
He's just a very basic, kind of all-rounder character in a way. So I don't know.
Where he just tries to run you over in neutral, basically.
Run you over in
or win the mix-up game.
Yeah, run you over in neutral. Hopes he gets you in an up air combo, and that's kind of his game plan.
Yeah, try to get as many up airs and then go from there and see what happens.
Yeah. I will say I do love his killing jab. That is a really cool concept.
That's true, it's one of the few that actually still kills in this game, that's true.
Yeah.
And it makes him somewhat unique at that perspective, at least.
It does, yeah.
I still think the character would work very much better if they did not bind him into the clown car, but it is what it is in I want to say modern time Nintendo.
Yeah. I would have kind of preferred a more of a paintbrush-esque moveset though, but oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we have a Duck Hunt. Oh god. Notice how a lot of the characters who aren't played very much in Smash 4 are... Smash 4. A lot of the Smash 4 vets haven't been played a lot in Ultimate unless they've been clearly found out to be very good.
Yeah, there seems to be a recurring theme there, that's true.
That is kind of interesting, yeah.
Well, yeah, many of them got like, well, not rehauls, like Villager got Isabelle, or is just not played anymore. Like, I don't know why exactly, but yeah, it's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. Like, the only Smash 4 vet you see consistently a lot is like Palutena and Cloud.
True, maybe Shulk.
Maybe.
From time to time, and you see some Greninjas here and there. At least I do.
Yeah, Greninjas, maybe sometimes Pac-Man, but that's only just because, like, there's some really good Pac-Man mains.
Yeah, true.
God, T is insane. I would never want to fight T.
I'd like to try, but I don't think it will end up that well for me.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, Duck Hunt is... I think most people like will agree that Duck Hunt is good, but they can't put their finger on how good.
Yeah, that's like probably the real point here. Yeah, he is like decent enough to be solo viable. Well, to be honest, almost everyone is in this game. But we do not know how far could it be taken if some top player really dedicated themselves to him.
Yeah, it's the same case with Chic though, where if you gave this character consistent kill power, he instantly jumps up to top tier.
Well, that's something that most characters would appreciate very much in this game.
Yeah. Alright, now we move on to our first Shoto, Ryu.
Speaking of kill power.
Speaking of kill power, yeah. A lot of these changes were done by Person 3. I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with I'm pretty satisfied with where Ryu and Ken are, but I know a lot of people still think they're very underwhelming, and I just don't see it.
How can you think those characters are underwhelming, to be honest?
I don't...
The only question for me is which one is now better?
I think the only reason why people say that anymore is because they don't have a flashy comeback mechanic like Go or Rage Drive.
True, in comparison to the newer comeback mechanics, they do pale a bit.
They do, yeah, but I don't know. I think they're solid enough as is, but some people don't, so oh well, okay. It's fine.
Yeah, they can have some trouble matchups, I can see that, but like nothing too bad in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess it could be in a similar scenario to like Link, Young Link, and Toon Link, where they kind of function as like the Toon Link, where like they're clearly not bad, but they don't have like any of that high stake flash.
I mean, Ken killing you in 2 neutral exchanges can be kinda explosive.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, that is true. I stand corrected.
But then again, it's like, I think just how the character like plays is something that you really have to like really be on top with that playstyle to really make it work out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess maybe like some people who are experts on this characters can probably inform me more about it though, because otherwise I'm kind of stumped.
Same.
Oh well. Next up is Cloud. Honestly, this was probably one of the easiest characters to decide changes for because he's already in that like borderline, like already on that borderline high top tier scenario though.
Yeah, he has gone through quite a development in Ultimate's time, so, like until now.
Yeah, similarly to Mario, ZSS, and Fox, he's certainly been one of the nerfed top tiers from the last game that has done like who's like taken it very well.
Yeah, and I think he got some changes in Ultimate again as well, if I remember correctly. And people were just like downplaying how bad the limit now running out is. It really is not that big of a deal. Like, he still works very much without limit in this game.
Yeah, they did kind of balance it in a way though, where like yeah, limit now has a timer, but he gets limit a lot more though, which I thought was a very good change.
That is true, yeah. It feels like he gets limit way more often than he did in Smash 4, but that's probably just because they always kept it until they almost died or had to use it.
Oh yeah, that's a part of Smash 4 Cloud I just don't miss at all.
I do not miss that up air. That landing up air.
I don't miss that landing up air. I don't miss limit cross slash. God, fuck Smash 4 limit cross slash.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, Cloud's in an alright spot though. Like he could probably go the rest of the game without any buffs.
Yeah, I could see that. He's in a solid place. He's like... Well, he's not fun to play against, but he is okay to play against.
Yeah. Oh, I found this out about a couple months ago, but I thought it was really funny. So everyone remembers how Smash 4 Cloud had a giant Nair hitbox? The funniest part about it is, it didn't even cover the full sword. There was kind of a blind spot at the tipper. Oh my god.
Well, if he had that, then he would have been definitely top 1, huh?
Yeah.
Or not.
In Ultimate, it's literally the same scenario. The hitbox does not cover the tipper. The only difference is that they just changed the animation to where he awkwardly like swings it really low. So honestly, if you just put the hitbox back on the tipper, it probably would have like it still wouldn't be as good as Smash 4, but it would have like fair or decent range.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, just oh gosh. Cloud, what will we ever do with you?
Put him back into his game.
Speaking of Smash 4 DLC characters that start with C and use, I don't know where I was going with that. Corrin, I think this character's fine, but people don't. So, what's your opinion?
I I don't think they need much change because they're on the verge of getting like really, really good. Like you already have some confirms, I think, landing fair to back air and stuff, which can kill insanely early. I think the character's all in a good place. Like he can juggle you for days and just try to edgeguard you. The only thing that they kind of lack is like in recovery because they do not get the drift after the up B anymore.
They don't, yeah. But I think like a slight air or like a solid airspeed change, like listed on the dock, would probably be more than enough for them.
Yeah, that would probably already fix most of the issues they do have.
Because then they would be able to recover with just back air, or just like being able to recover by just drifting in with back air and then up being without needing to use their double jump.
Yeah.
But oh well. Corrin is just... I wouldn't mind if Corrin like got a bit more emphasis on their dragon moves again though, and some of the sword attacks were nerfed to compensate for that, just so we can see a bit more from the specials, but I don't know. I'm fine with them, I guess.
We do not want Smash 4 side B back.
No.
No, we do not.
No. That can... I don't care if it would have been less polarizing in this game, considering it has better movement options. I don't miss that move. And I thought that move was overrated, just to give you some clarification. And I still hated side B, like Smash 4 pin.
Was one of the most polarizing moves. I always compared it to like Icon Air in the early stages of Ultimate.
Yeah, it really was. It really was just the do-all kind of move.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But anyway, speaking of do-all, next we have is Bayonetta. Is Bayonetta actually good in this game? People can't decide if she is.
I cannot decide as well, to be honest. Sometimes she feels like almost oppressive, and at times you think like, huh, I really just did that and it worked. Like, I don't know. She's really good at like mid-range anti-airing you with like jump and then side B. I think it's afterburner, or I don't know which one the ones that goes up is.
Oh, afterburner? Yeah, it's afterburner. Which heel slide is the grounded version.
Ah, okay, yeah. And like she's really good in calling out jumps with that and getting like a solid like bread and butter combo from it. But aside from that, I don't know how she doesn't feel that good. But at the same time, there's also a possibility of you just dying at I don't know what percent she can lather you now.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those cases though where she's like Smash 4 Wario, where she either kills you really early or much later.
Yeah, true. They did try to address it now with like the jab buff in the last patch, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If that really works in favor of her or not.
I mean, the jab change, jab now kills a lot earlier, but the problem is people fall out of jab a lot, so it doesn't really help. And plus, like, her jab is frame 9, so you're not going to be landing it very often.
I mean, Bowser Jr.'s jab isn't that much faster, is it?
I don't know what frame... Let me look it up, actually. I have my computer here. Let me look. Thank God he's one of the first characters listed. Let's see, Bowser Jr.'s jab. Junior's jab is frame 4.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
But
it always feels so much slower.
Yeah, I get you. Oh well. But anyway, Bayonetta is just... It kind of just seems like she just needs some slightly better kill potential just to be a bit more consistent, and then she would be good.
Yeah, if she even would need that, to be honest. Like, maybe... I don't know, like... If you cannot really change back her anymore, maybe make like up tilt or down tilt have a little like kill confirm window or something. I don't know if they already do have that actually.
I think they do, but it's like at really, really high percents, like getting up to like 200, so like not that practical.
Okay, fair. Maybe give like down tilt like some kill confirm potential at like 130 or 120 to 130 or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird though. Again though, she's generally not played very much though. But it's like unanimously agreed she has a good matchup against Rob, and Rob is played a lot though. So maybe that's all she really needs.
Yeah, that could be true. Yeah.
But oh well. Next up we have is Inkling. Okay, I actually tried maining this character for a bit. For love of God, do not play this character online. You could be winning neutral like 1,000 times and still never kill. Oh, it is pain trying to kill us, this character. Oh my God.
Meanwhile, when I get grabbed anything between 128 and like 160, I am just dead.
Yeah.
So this character is like, you either get the confirm or you do not. Like, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly, I think all this character needs is just slightly better kill potential, and that's it. Because I still think this character can be top tier, but the character just fell off because so many other DLC characters just kind of did what she did, but had kill power.
That's true, but what do you say about a kill from a throw, a kill confirmed by throw with like 30% windowish against the heaviest or the biggest of bodies?
Yeah, that's also another case though. She either gets the booyah confirm or she doesn't.
Yeah, and I think it dictates her like matchup chart quite a bit.
Yeah. So...
Like if she can booyah you or not.
So I don't know. I think just slightly more consistent kill power on moves she doesn't use would be okay, but nothing that gives her like a move that consistently kills at 100. She doesn't need that. No.
No, definitely not.
No, definitely not that. But yeah, Inkling is Inkling.
Yes.
Next up we have is Ridley. Oh God, what is this? Like the 5th time I've said this. Inkling. Ridley is another character who is so close to being really good, but he lacks that one thing that makes him really good.
Yeah, he sometimes really struggles in disadvantage, and like even though he has a really flexible recovery, he can get edge guarded at times.
Yeah, it just feels like his neutral is just barely not good enough to get those advantage state wins that he needs.
Yeah.
Oh God. And his recovery is barely okay. Like it's almost okay. His neutral is almost good. Oh gosh, Ridley, you're so close, man.
Yeah.
Oh geez, so I don't know. I think just generally if he just had a slightly better neutral and just a disadvantage state that just it was just slightly less polarizing, he would be fine.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I can see him have some anti-metal potential here and there versus the more off-stage fragile characters, I want to say.
Yeah, he does seem like he might have some potential against Pyra and Mithra, but first he's actually got to get them off stage first, and that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. Okay. Anyway, next we have is the Belmonts. Probably one of the few zoners in the game though that's not considered that great, funny enough.
Yeah, and also one of the zoners that actually you feel like you get in and do damage.
Yeah, so I don't know though. It's one of those cases where if they just had a decent recovery, they might be a very oppressive high or top tier character, but they don't have that. So that might have well just been the small thing that is keeping them from being very scary or very just threatening for the meta.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of like King Dedede, they sometimes just get you at ledge at 60 and you say goodbye for that stock.
Yeah, goodbye. And it doesn't help that they're very difficult to get in. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can improve them though, but it doesn't feel it feels like mostly all you can really do is just quality of life changes and just hope they don't push them too far.
Yeah, but once they push them too far, it's probably not going to be that fun to try and get in versus them.
Yeah, I will say I am very happy that Nick All-Stars found a way of dealing with projectile camping. You did good, Nick All-Stars. You did good.
They really tried their best.
Yeah. Oh, and for Richter or Simon or whatever, do you have any idea of how to declone these characters? Because I don't.
Honestly, not really either. I haven't really played their games, so I couldn't even try to get some references for changes.
Yeah, it doesn't help though that from what I've seen in their games, they mostly play the same. and a lot of Simon's moveset is taken from what Richter does in his game. So it's like, what do we do now? Do we make Simon more original now, or do we make Richter more original? I don't get it.
Yeah. I think it was a cool move of them of putting like both of them moves of both of them to both of the characters. Like, you get what I mean?
I get what you mean though.
Like that they have both the moves of each other. That was a cool move, but I don't know how to declone aside from maybe just like saying a generic one is faster on the ground, the other in the air, or one has better specials and the other better normals. Like, aside from those like kinda generic changes, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. I did hear one person say that they should just take Simon's moveset from SSF2 and just put that on him, and like, sure, I guess.
Yeah, but I'll always say, like, when people say Bandana D gets in, I say they will not put it in because SSF2 has put him in first, and that's why they will not do it.
Oh, Bandana D. Maybe you'll get your day one day.
Maybe it's already today. For me, it's already today, so...
That is true. Maybe he is the final DLC character.
Who knows?
That would be funny. But anyway, speaking of funny, now we have King K. Rool, my most played character in Ultimate. K. Rool is kind of in a similar scenario with King Dedede, where he's very close to being like he's really close to being potentially one of the worst characters, but he's like not quite there. He can just do a little bit too much though to be quite in that spot.
To be fair, I do think that K. Rool is actually quite a decent character. So I'm not sure if I would even put him at bottom 10, but then again, who do I put at bottom 10 then?
Yeah, it's why I don't really like using terminology like bottom 10, because like most of the characters in this game don't really struggle, or at least badly struggle.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have seen some really like creative like K. Rools like and played versus quite decent ones. I don't think this character's all that bad, but then again, maybe I just would have needed to like study the matchup a bit more. But he has some stuff.
Oh, he definitely has some stuff, yeah. Honestly, I think I went overboard with a lot of these changes. Most of these he honestly does not need at all. But he is a very interesting character at the very least, though. Like he's simultaneously like really good and really bad, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Like he has some really strong positions and some really bad positions in the game.
Yeah, high highs, low lows. I will say this right now.
Yeah.
This change right here can now skip to the inhale phase without needing a cannonball out. If that honestly was implemented, none of these changes afterwards on the neutral special would be needed. It would be such a strong mix-up if K. Rool can choose at any time to pull out the vacuum. Now a cannonball has to be out in order for him to use the vacuum, but if he could just pull it out at any time, it would be an insanely good mix-up for him.
That is true, depending on how much startup you'd have.
They say that the vacuum phase, like the vacuum on its own has like a 25 frame startup though. So it would essentially be like a 25 frame command grab that you could drift in the air and go down through platforms. So it would be pretty good.
That's true. I mean, command grabs are always really, really strong.
Yeah, but I don't. But who knows? So that's K. Rool. Oh, here we go. Here's our Lady of the Night. It's Isabelle. I'll let you take this one.
I mean, what do I want to say? Her combo game is like really insane. Her up tilt. We debated like in another chat like lately if it's one of the best up tilts in the game. Period. If not the best. It's really that good. And yeah, she has a lot of weird stuff that can like catch you on surprise. But even if you know they are coming, they're still like really good. Like Lloyd is basically a auto activating mine, which you can really use for ledge trapping.
Yeah, I kind of describe her Lloyd trap as Diet Snake C4.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Diet because it's like it could actually be better than C4 in some positions. especially in like ledge trapping, because it activates on its own and you do not have to react to anything.
Yeah.
You can catch like neutral get up like on the one frame in vulnerability you have and stuff like that.
That is true, yeah. This change I was waiting for you to comment on. The back throw changes. Side special fishing rod back throw changes. I remember I put this on here and you said you didn't like them, but I put them on there anyway. This was like a couple years ago. Has your opinion changed on that much?
No, that back throw should not get a lower angle in my opinion, because if she catches you anywhere off stage with that, you are just dead at 20, and that's not okay.
That's fair. That's completely fair, yeah. If we were making this mod, I would have deleted it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already dead at 20 if I do not have my double jump anymore, so I don't want to die outright to it already.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, that's Isabelle. But yeah, I just gotta say, I don't know why the hell people keep saying this character is like so bad or bottom 5 or bottom 10 or whatever. She has a solid defensive neutral. She has like a solid game plan, good buttons, a solid recovery. It's definitely like not insane cheese, but still some good cheese. It's just I don't see it. I don't see why people say she's bad.
Yeah, she struggles with landing. If anything, I can see that, but that's about it. Like, I don't see much more that she really has trouble with in this game. She can struggle with a strong rushdown, but then again, most of the casts kind of struggles with that kind of rushdown if played correctly, I want to say.
Yeah, like unless you have like a really fast like get off me option though, and like it's somewhat common but not super common.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's Isabelle. Next up is Incineroar. Incineroar is kind of in that same case with like Diddy or K. Rool though, where like he's barely not with like Ganondorf or Mac or Dr. Mario, but he's still like Incineroar is crazy. He's probably what I would call Cheese the character. He has insanely high damage output with like Revenge and Side B, and insanely good kill power, but finding that opportunity though can be a real headache.
Yeah, it can really be a real headache. I do think he's clearly better than Incineroar's clearly better than like Dedede, but I do not know about K. Rool. I think K. Rool is actually, for me, K. Rool has a bit more of a like gameplay that actually works out, I want to say. Instead of just trying to revenge stuff and find your openings somewhere maybe, and if you get grabbed you lose all your progress, kind of.
Yeah, I agree though. Like, personally, the reason why I think he's better than Ganon, Doc, and Mac though is because while he's still slow, while he's still slow, like slower than Doc and Ganon, he does admittedly have a really good cheese game plan with down B and side B, and admittedly, like, he has a better recovery too.
Yeah, he really does, and like, he has a command grab in mid-range that you cannot really spot dodge on reaction, because it actually catches spot dodge like kinda decently.
Yeah, it does linger. And plus, like, while his aerials aren't super impressive, he still does have a plethora of some good moves. He has a good down tilt, nair. I know there's other moves I'm not thinking of. A good neutral.
His up air is really good as well.
Oh yeah, up air, and of course he has an insanely good grab game. So he still has like enough moves to make himself like pretty prevalent.
Yeah.
Oh well, like, honestly, like, you could probably just give him nothing but mobility buffs, just make him somewhat, like, still kind of slow, but still being able to get around, and he would probably be high tier off of that based on just that alone.
Yeah, if he had, like, Ike's movement stats, he'd be high tier for sure. Oh,
he would be top tier by that point, God! He would be top tier.
Ike's not fast, though. Ike's not fast.
I mean, okay, Ike isn't that fast on the ground, but he does have some pretty good airspeed.
That is true, that is true.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have nightmares about that now, just as Incineroar jumping around. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we've been going for almost 2.5 hours, and we're up to the home stretch, so here we go. Alright, so next up is Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant? Oh, Piranha Plant, why... Half of your kit is just 2 moves, and then your normals are just like half of them are okay, the other half of it you never use. Proud of Plant. I don't think this character is as bad as Ganondorf, but he's pretty close.
I would say he's like a good chunk better, but he's still like kind of centralized. No, not kind of centralized. He's centralized around his Patui and maybe some other move that I do not think of.
Poison
but
Breath.
Like Patui is the Poison Breath, right? But like Patui is the one thing that is his saving grace, and on a quote unquote already good character, this move would be kind of busted. I want to say.
Yeah, but. Yeah, it's very much like that case of where like they really went overboard with compensating like Plant's normals in order to make Pitsui not oppressive. Because Plant, honestly, like even though there's a few mobility changes on here and they're not super crazy, honestly, Plant just needs to be able to throw out normals and just have a different game plan. And that's the thing that just Plant struggles with. It doesn't really have much of an other game plan. It just does the same two moves, spaces it out, uses its very lame normals, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think Plant even has like a solid neutral tool, like with falling aerial or anything like that. Like.
Yeah, like I can understand like its aerial not being very good though, but even its grounded moves are unimpressive.
Yeah, aside from maybe his frame 2 jab.
Yeah, that's...
For some reason.
That's kind of it, yeah. Like, the character's not terrible. Like, it still can at least do other things, and it does have an oddly good grab game, but, like, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing more, but nothing less, too. Like, it speaks volumes to, as we speak, like, this character is the most comparable to, like, Ganon, Mech, and Doc. But this character is actually... has results, like...
Yeah. I don't know. Plant really is an oddball. I'll say it that.
In more than one view, from more than one view.
Yep. Okay, now we move on to the next character, Joker. No changes, but I was honestly really convinced of changing up Arsene, considering that I hate how Arsene is basically given to Joker for free. But person 3 didn't want that, so I didn't. I didn't do it.
This time you did not.
Yeah,
huh?
but that was...
But you kept the back throw from Isabel,
Yeah.
huh?
Honestly, I don't know if her opinions have changed yet, though, but oh well. This mod's... If anyone wants to make this mod, go right ahead. You don't have to credit me. I don't know if you want to be credited, but you can make it.
No. I had fun discussing these changes with you guys, and that's all I really was about still in the server, like.
Yeah. But Joker is just... God. Even if... Honestly, Joker kind of reminds me of Smash 4 Cloud. The only real difference is that it actually takes considerable skill to play Joker at, like, higher levels. And that's it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like, I will say, at his peak, he's not as oppressive as Smash 4 Cloud, and in terms of actually, like, picking him up and playing him, he definitely takes a lot more effort, so I don't think he's as bad as Smash 4 Cloud, but part of me still sees Smash 4 Cloud in him, and I don't like that. But I don't know, he's not... I don't hate him. I don't really even hate his design that much, though, but yeah, I wouldn't have minded if they kind of, like, leaned a little less into making Arsene very free to get.
Yeah, that's true, especially in stock 2 and 3 of the game, where you all get like a bit of the gauge going.
Yeah, I am happy that they at least made it so the more damage you do to him, the more Arsene he loses. I'm at least glad they did that in a patch, but I kind of wish they went a little further in some areas. And they did, at least they did tweak down guns. Down guns was stupid. It still is kind of stupid, but it was really stupid.
Yeah. This character is like, he's too fast and has like still like such, he's so fast, he has good weight tier, he has good like neutral options and good zoning options. He just does not really lack in any department.
Not really, yeah. He really is kind of like an unconventional all-rounder in a weird way.
Yeah.
But oh well, that's Joker. Honestly, Joker could probably like stay like this, so oh well. Next up is Hero. Honestly, a lot of what I said about Lucario can apply to Hero. This character is just way too damn inconsistent, considering how much overpowered shit he has, but this, like, people, like, are still debating whether or not he's a mid or a high tier character.
Yeah. This character is like, I got Psych Up, I got Oomph. Oh, I hit your shield with a down air, back air, or anything. Oh, your shield is dead. Time to search up the next Oomph and just kill you.
Yeah, he's really way too much of a dice rolly character.
Yeah. But aside from that, he actually, even if you do not use menu that much, he has like a solid neutral with like his just sword moves and his side B, which can keep out people really well.
Yeah, like, he's clearly not bad. He definitely has a game plan outside of just his down B, but it's not insanely good. It's just okay. It's just kind of good though, and I think that's what's like what really keeps this character like unanimous mid to high tier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hero is always like a kind of a fun character to like talk about redesigning or see how they can change him up though, but as is though, I am kind of glad that we have a character that is this explosive and this wild.
Yeah, it's something, I want to say.
It is. It really is fun that we have a wild card character in this game, and even though this character definitely has some insane things or some parts that I don't really agree with, especially with the oh god, the language barrier with the command specials. Why? I'm still angry they did not change that in the patch. They really should have.
Yeah, they really should have, because that's just not okay for if you do not play in your home field, like you basically cannot play this character.
Yeah, or if you like brought someone over though who like doesn't like know like a native know your native language very well, or like someone who is like just multilingual and they just can't read a language super well. Like even in a casual setting, but whatever. They're lost.
Yeah, and even if you can read the other language, you are still used to like searching the commands in your own language.
Yeah,
right?
like it's still gonna take a longer time to process compared to a native speaker.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe if Hero is in Smash 6, they'll change that, but I heavily doubt either of those are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up is Banjo-Kazooie. Honestly, most of these buffs, though, were really just aimed towards making Banjo play more like an all-rounder rather than just a pure zoner. And I think it's kind of a case where it's like just doing that kills two birds with one stone, though it kind of fixes up most of the problems people had with them.
Yeah, I think though if like he's a bit tough one to really balance, because like Wandering is that explosive, like you will die at 60, 70 if you get sweet spotted at ledge.
Yeah, the change I did to Wonder Wing, and this one was kind of another killing two birds with one stone, but essentially what I did is that I altered the knockback and hit stun a bit, so the sour spot and the sweet spot are now like safe on hit, because believe it or not, Wonder Wing actually is negative on hit on low percents, but I made it so the sweet spot actually does kill later, so it makes the move more fair for both parties, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. You will not get cheesed as much, but you will die consistently.
Yeah, so like instead of like in those cheese scenarios, you might not die at like 60 or 70, but you'll like only die at like 80 or 90, which is like, okay, that's fine. That's not as bad.
It's not as bad, but it's also not what I wanted.
Yeah.
What I want if I play against a Banjo, like.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you hit me with it, you killed me at 80. Okay. I mean, I cannot complain, but it's not fine.
Yeah, I would rather they just kind of redesigned Wonder Wing to be more like a defensive move, like a get off me, or sort of like a stationary move, or like how it actually functions in the games. But oh well.
I mean, it is what it is. They tried their best to like incorporate it as well as they could.
They did, yeah. And I'm still happy Banjo is in the game, though. Like, even if he's not like the best DLC character, but he's still good enough to where you could see him in tournament level.
Yeah.
Alright, next up is Terry. Honestly, I don't know what to do with Terry, and Person 3, honestly, she has a very high opinion of him, so that's why I didn't put anything for him.
Yeah, Terry's like, he's good enough, but from time to time he feels like Kind of bit like Lucario, he either will snowball you or you will snowball him, like, from time to time. If you can, like, prevent him from getting go, you will probably, like, keep that advantage all game long, but if he gets go on the first stock and takes your stock and then gets, like, a million of extra credit after with go, you probably will lose that game.
Yeah, like, it is a kind of a polarizing factor, too. It doesn't help that Terry is surprisingly really heavy, and his recovery, even though it's kind of weak, it's not as weak as it could have been.
Yeah, you really need to know where you can challenge him for, like, it to work out.
Yeah, it doesn't help that, like, all of his specials add, like, a ton of mix-ups to it, though, so...
Yeah.
Oh, well. Terry is like, I'm fine with him enough, even if Go is a little obnoxious, but oh well. Next up we have is Byleth. Honestly, MK Leo is the reason why this character, like, why people have a high opinion of this character.
Yeah, it really is like it.
Yeah, but Byleth is kind of like another case of, like, he's not really a crazy good character, but is still consistent and solid enough to definitely challenge the better characters, or, like, put up a good fight.
Yeah, and now really shows how well balanced the game actually is if MK Leo can, like, pull off these feats with this character.
It is, yeah, though. I definitely got to give credit to, and I am very happy that they did manage to make a very slow, well, okay, not super slow, but a genuinely slow character viable, because they made it up for it with the character having generally very solid range and frame data.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know where I heard this, but this character is, like, what really makes this character good is, like, that you cannot really ledge trap him, right? And edge guarding him is also, like, a tough task. You really have to, like, know where you can challenge him, or challenge them, I want to say.
Yeah.
I think that this is the big reasons why he is viable as such a quote-unquote slow character.
Yeah, like, he manages to break, like, get past so many, he manages to get past so many roadblocks that many slow characters just come to a halt with, though, and I think that's where they did a really good job with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, oh well. Okay, now we have...
Cool character. Well, on hindsight, I think it's, even though the fan base will probably, like, hate me for that, I think it's one of the better DLCs we've had. Like,
yeah.
If it weren't for the Fire Emblem stigma, like, it would have been a really, really nice DLC character.
Yeah, like, he is a really cool character. Like, a lot of people said, though, that they thought, like, if it was just Monster Hunter that got this moveset and not Byleth, everyone, like, would have loved it, though. But oh well, I'm fine with them. Byleth is alright, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Speaking of, it is kind of funny how Byleth was labeled as the Distance Demon character, because then right after we got Min Min, the true Distance Demon.
Yeah.
Oh god. Remember that point when everyone just hated Min Min so much and then we just forgot about her?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I am really curious how, like, she develops in the future part of the game. Like, will she get really oppressive, or will we just toss her to the side and be like, no, she will never be a real threat in tournament? I could see both of them happening.
Yeah,
right
or
now.
like a super big threat. Like, she's only as good as, like, Peaches in Melee. So, who knows? Oh, 1 second. Yes? Oh, I'm almost done. Give me a minute. How about, like, how about in about 15 minutes? Is that fine? Go ahead. Okay, that was my mother. Anyway, we should probably... Okay, we're almost done, though, so let's get up to it.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have is Steve. What do you do with this character?
Yeah, like, why are you buffing this character? No.
This was before we found out where Steve could really go.
Yeah. I mean, this character, like, I don't know what to think of him, because I actually do think that he's not all that great. I still do think that, yeah. But that might just be because, like, Ike has a good matchup, so yeah.
Oh, that's possible, yeah. I could see, like, Ike doing pretty good, though, because Ike has a lot of what Steve doesn't like.
Yeah, I mean, Ike is one of the characters that can hit him out of minecart, but then again, most other characters cannot with like such an easy move.
Yeah, like Ike has fair. Ike is genuinely has enough burst movement. Ike has a great nair, which Steve has a hard time dealing with. Ike also has eruption by the ledge though, which can really screw up with Steve's recovery.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I really do not know what to think of Steve. He can be really explosive, I can see that. I guess I just have not faced a good enough Steve in bracket yet, or did I even face one in bracket just yet?
Yeah.
So
we'll have to wait and see though. I still to this day am laughing at that video Ivysaur made 1 week after the character was made. Oh, Steve might actually be the worst character. This is why you never jump to conclusions that a character is terrible like within their first week.
that is true, though I'll have to be honest, I did actually agree with Izzo at that point in time.
Oh, at the time, yeah, that's fine, but like I think like a month ago he said that he still thought Steve was like one of the worst in the game. Is like, I like you, Ivysaur, but you're going to need a really strong argument for that.
Yeah, on paper he might have a point, but in practice he does not.
He definitely did help develop counterplay against this character, but man, oh man, that counterplay is not living up to it.
Not yet.
Yeah. Okay, now next we get up to Sephiroth, and this is like the part though where like we're getting up to the really decent characters. Like it's really still hard to judge where they really go. Sephiroth is kind of in that case. He kind of reminds me of Smash 4 Pikachu though, where like it's pretty clear he's good, but we're not sure if he's like top tier yet though. A solid high tier, but not sure if he's top tier yet. And I think that might just be due to the fact that he hasn't been played enough yet.
I can see that, yeah. I also think like he really could end up being really dominating, or he could just fall off again. Like,
yeah, like I will say Nairo has done a good job with exhibiting his strength, but Nairo can't go to tournaments anymore, and he said he doesn't even have any plans for it, even if he does get unbanned. So, bleh.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's the other point of the thing. Yeah, I mean, Sephiroth is a cool character and all. I do not like his design that much, especially if it's like with the wing mode. But hey, it is what it is, and it's cool that he got into the game. But where he goes from here is like, yeah, everything's possible.
Yeah. For a second, I thought I just misspelled Sephiroth, and like I'm overthinking it. But yeah, I get what you mean. Sephiroth, he definitely just seems like he kind of reminds me of like the Smash 4 Pikachu or Corrin though. Not quite dominating or really living up to the top tiers, but he can comfortably like exchange jabs with them.
Yeah, that could be like the place where he is right now.
Yeah. Okay, here comes our controversial one. The what people are dubbing this game's interpretation of Smash 4 Cloud, Pyra Mithra. Oh boy. Oh.
Yes.
God, I might. If we actually went through with this mod, I might have to get rid of all of these changes.
You probably better would do that, yeah.
And these aren't even that big of changes, but people hate this character or characters. And they haven't even been out for that long.
Yeah, but I can get them, to be honest. Like, as we said, like they have the damage output and neutral of a Chic and the kill power of a Ike or Ganon even. Like, you cannot go wrong with that. That just works.
Yeah, it's still going to take some time to see where they pan out. They might be the Smash 4 Cloud of the game, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. Okay, and then finally we move on to Kazuya. Again, way too damn early. Why the hell does he have a frame 7 jump squat?
Because they ran out of options to make his disadvantage or his game plan worse, aside from that.
I think they did that because they wanted to make the up inputs with chap jump users easier to do. But like,
Ah, that could be true as
Most
well.
people unanimously agree tap jump is not as good as no tap jump, so...
Yeah.
Kazuya, I'm still in the same opinion of he's just around the area where Terry and the Shotos are. He's good, he has a very defined game plan, but he's not good enough to be top tier, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think right now I think about the same, but it's still hard to see because, I mean, if half of your moves have like almost full body intangibility, you probably can make something work with it always.
Yeah. And then finally we move on to the last freaking one. Terrible character. We need their jab to cover the entire screen and it's like cover the entire screen, do 999 damage, and is unblockable. There. Perfect.
Perfect game design.
Perfect game design.
But it has no knockback, and all his other moves do 0 damage and thus no knockback as well.
The only way you can kill is with down taunt, and it's harder to land than Luigi's, so good luck with that.
Yeah. But maybe they give him enough mobility that the unblockable jab will suffice to time out people. We don't know that yet.
Oh, gosh. And that was the Smash Ultimate Remix planning stage we had for this. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. It turned out into like evaluation of the ultimate roster in the end, but I think it was a fun time to go through the roster and like sum up the thoughts about the state of each character's meta.
Yeah. I'm glad that we at least got to talk about this. I'm glad we at least got to do a voice conversation about it. It feels really good finally being able to put this out to the world, that all this time we've spent on it. And, you know, Nick All-Stars is just around the horizon. I can't wait to play that game. I can't wait to lab the hell out of it. Well, when I have time at least. I can't wait to play it, have a blast. And I just gotta say, Smash Ultimate, it's had its moments of peaks and valleys, but I will say it had a lot more peaks. It's a great game. I love it, both like casually and competitively.
Yeah, it definitely is like a really good game, and even though many people just say like it sucks and stuff, it does not, and most of them are not really like true to themselves as well. Many people like it, and it's a good balance of like a really input heavy fast game, but also a playable game.
Yeah, an it's that's what I love about it though. It's fast enough to be engaging and high energy, but not too fast where it's overwhelming to like lower level players. And
Yep.
and that's what I love about it though. It meant a good balance as well. But hey, like I can't wait. But regardless, I can't wait to see who the final DLC character was. I can't wait to play Nick All-Stars and be absolutely overwhelmed with how insanely fast-paced that game is. Because it honestly looks faster than Melee. Like just from the little gameplay footage I've seen of it with pro players, it might be faster than Melee. I'm a little scared, but I also can't wait to see its competitive scene. It looks like it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, people have been waiting for it for long enough.
But hey, this was fun. This was a fun video. Honestly, if you're down for it, would you like to do like another video like down the line later on?
Sure, if we can get another time slot sometime, for sure, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that we're adults and we're working very often, and we live on different parts of the planet, so time zone doesn't align. It's just complications.
Yes, yeah, but if it can work out, I'm surely up for it again.
But hey, this was a blast. I'm Mr. Game Guy, and you are.
I'm Mike.
And we will see you, or maybe see you, might see you, I don't know. And we'll see you another time. Take care, folks.
Bye.